Alrighty, guys, we
Oh,
are
yeah.
live.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Woo, guys! Hi, everybody. All right, guys. So today we have a really special treat for you. We're interviewing JR Rivera, who's the author of Beautiful Creatures, and the book's going to be coming out in December. And the illustrator who's working with him is Jasmine Becket Griffiths. So we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna try really hard to get everything in an hour, but I can't make any promises. So now I had originally interviewed JR on Dia on practical spirituality, and we got a lot of information out there, and now we really just want to just kind of fill in some gaps and kind of just fill in some areas that we can really kind of just get some more details about the cards themselves, about the publishing, about where it's at on the lists of popularity. So, JR, I want to thank you for, letting me interview you for a second time. And so what I wanted to do was to just kind of go back real briefly to when you got your first deck of cards, and then we'll just go, and then we're going to jump forward to when you started going on Facebook and you met Jasmine.
Actually, when I got my first deck of cards was at the age of 13. They were gifted to me by my grandmother and my mother, though both of them are not card readers, but it all happened with when I started experiencing, as they would call it, psychic abilities, things that, like, for example, feeling things, seeing things. And so that's when my mother brought it to my grandmother's attention, and my grandmother said, well, you know what, I think you need to give him a tool or something to expand his ability. And that's how it all continued, and from the age of 13 till on, I've not looked back and just kept practicing and working on this task.
Well, what's great is that, the traditional way, and, of course, the times change, but the traditional way of ever getting cards was for you not to purchase them, not to buy them yourself. That's supposed to be gifted to you. So I think that, your grandmother, what a smart cookie, it's just amazing that she was just like, hey, you know what, instead of freaking out because you had these abilities, she was like, you know what, we're going to get him a tool. We're going to get him something that's going to help him. And I think that's just amazing. That's what forethought. That's just awesome. So then you were telling me that after a couple years, you started thinking about how you wanted to you wanted to do your own deck. Tell me about that.
Well, at first I thought, should I write a book about reading cards? Should I write a book about what the cards mean? But then I said, how about writing a book about tarot, what the card means, and including a tarot deck, creating a tarot deck to go along with it? So I stuck to that idea, and well, at the age of 25, 26, I began thinking how it was going to be, the illustrator that I was going to work with, how I wanted to composing the tarot deck, the book, and from there on, I just let everything just fall into place.
Wow. That's so ambitious. I don't think there's a lot of people who would try to tackle something like that. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. And I know Marian she's getting excited. When she heard your story, she just got really, really inspired. And so now you started thinking about doing the deck, and then you were talking about, like, okay, really starting to put the pieces together and realizing, okay, I want an illustrator. So how did it go about that you started a dialogue with Jasmine?
Well, it all started when owning her Oracle of Shadows and Light. Yes, Oracle of Shadows and Light. And then owning her Oracle of the Shapeshifters, and I said to myself, you know what? She has not had a tarot deck created with her artwork. And then I said, but I'm just so in love with her artwork, so it just came to me. The idea of just creating a tarot deck with her artwork just came to me, and I got in contact with her through Facebook, gave her the idea. She agreed to it. She was all for it, and that's how we continued our collaboration.
I just love the series of your manifestation. Like you know, I think that's something we can learn. That's why I'm saying you inspired me, because it's something like, hey, what's the worst you could say? No? You know, so go, you know, to come over the fear of like, well, who am I? You know, I'm like a nobody. And, you know, here's this illustrator who's well known, you know, how am I going to ever think she's going to, you know, you didn't let all those little doubts stop you, at least from contacting her and say, well, you know what? This is an idea. And you know, this is what I would like to do. And that confidence and that, you know, just putting it out there, I really admire. And I think a lot of us who are watching this can, you know, pick up on that inspiration from you. You know, as we're always talking about manifestation. And so this is like a clear, beautiful example of something that you've set it, the intention in your mind, said, this is what I do. You were clear about it. You knew who you wanted to work with, and then you took your steps, you know, to get it done. Now, what I find interesting is that this was not a process of like overnight sensation. You know, they say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. And I just wanted to share that I did pull a card for today, you know, for everybody, you know, just to kind of get a feel for our interview. And I pulled the Eight of Pentacles from the Psychic Tarot. And what it says is dedicated effort. So I think it would be interesting if you kind of tell us, like, how did you, I mean, a tarot card, a tarot deck, that's a lot of work. How did you choose the picture? Like, how did that happen? Like, how did you actually work it? Like, what, you know, how did you work together, and how did you actually, you know, go through the process?
Originally, when I thought of the idea of creating a deck with Jasmine's artwork, it was going to be another oracle deck. But then again, I said, no, there's too many, you know, decks. There's going to be too many decks created with her artwork, so why not create something unique? And so then I thought of a 78 oracle deck. And then I said, why 78 oracle deck? Why not just create a tarot deck? And that's when I began looking through her portfolio, her artistic portfolio, and I started relating the images, connecting the images with that of the tarot cards. Like, for example, if there was an image of a girl with a nail in her heart, to me that was the Three of Swords. If there was like an image of a fairy giving pixie powder to a little girl, that to me was the Six of Pentacles. So that's how I associated the images. That's how I connected them together, so they could entwine and be relevant to that of the traditional tarot meanings, images.
Right.
And then tell us about Schiffer, because I know that you know, you guys used Schiffer and you're really, really happy with working with Schiffer and Jasmine, and so, you know, tell us about that, what it was like working for them, you know, this company that's published, you know, so many amazing authors, and here you are, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, here I am, I get to work with Schiffer.
Working with Schiffer was a fantastic experience. It was a fantastic journey. You can, with everything they do, everything they put out, you can tell that they really listen, endorse, and embrace both their creators and their fans. So I had told Schiffer, I'm a newbie. I've never published anything. I'm new at this, and all I ask is for y'all to be patient, and they did that. They were very patient with me. Absolutely. And the thing that I like about them is that they hear out their authors, illustrators, creators. They let them have a voice. And when it comes to their companion books, writing the companion books, they let the author write and take control of how they want for the cards to speak, to give them
Wow. Which is really important. I mean, that's like huge.
And
So
rare, very rare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And their presentation, their quality, the card stocks, the box, everything was just absolutely fantastic. And it's to me, I take it that it's more about quality rather than quantity, because you have publishers who put out so many, like maybe 500,000 or maybe 25,000 copies, but the cardstock, the quality, they don't stand up. They don't live
Yeah,
to their reputation.
I
And with
agree.
Chipper,
Yeah,
they rather make a few copies, but rather make it everlasting, the
it's
quality.
so true. Because I have a deck of cards by somebody very famous, and they actually, the cards are so soft, they're so thin that you can't shuffle them because they cave in. And
Hmm.
it's like you can't do a traditional shuffle with the cards, and I can't use them that way. I have to shuffle them sideways as opposed to doing the traditional shuffle. So it definitely makes a difference if you have a card stock that's thick and that can handle
The
rigorous
usage.
shuffle.
I
Yeah,
mean, we're readers. This is what we do every day. So I just want to say hi to a couple of readers that are watching us. So we have Angel Steve, so which is Christine, and she's joining us. So thank you. I know she's in California too, so it's early for her too.
you're up early too.
And we have Dia from Ori's Oasis is commenting and saying hello, and we have several other viewers. So if you want to, do a shout out, and we'll say hi to you guys. So one of the things that I found interesting was that, I mean, it was also a process for you to find the publisher. Like people say, oh, because it was Jasmine's illustration. I mean, you did do your work, and you did go to various, and and when so it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to send it and say she's the illustrator and that's it, so that they know it's not, you had to work to get this, do your proposals, do your presentations, and give your idea as well.
Right, because many publishers, well, in my case, Chipper, they never said this, but to my analysis, to analyzing, working with Chipper, creating the proposal, was that Chipper expects for the writing to be equal, to go hand in hand with the artwork. They won't take beautiful artwork and lousy writing. They won't take beautiful writing and lousy artwork.
And that's
So,
funny, yeah, because we
so
talked about that. We were talking about that
artwork,
yesterday.
yeah, Jasmine's artwork was 50% of the quality. In my writing, well, it was obviously 50%, so that's 100%, and that's why they decided to take it. Don't get me wrong, there were publishers who turned down the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. Despite how beautiful the artwork was, despite how beautiful the writing was, it got turned down. But then Schiffer took it, and I guess they saw some potential in it. And I just hope that Schiffer, is happy with it, especially with the success that it's had and everything.
Well, but that's we go to the next thing is your pre-sales are like off the charts. So tell us, like, I mean, it's always good to know the numbers and stuff. So tell us, you're already in the, I think, the top 3, if I'm not mistaken, on Amazon for your pre-sales. And when do you have an actual date for when it's when it's going to be launched, so that we know that we could go and buy it that day if they haven't bought it previously?
Well, despite that the Beautiful Creatures has been going up and down the charts, the release date is the same for, I believe, every country that it's been released.
Wow, so it's not just the United States, though. Our viewers who are international will also be able to get these.
Where the Beautiful Creatures Tarot has been receiving its full support is in Japan.
I know, that's so crazy.
Wow. Oh, because, that makes sense.
So crazy.
Which is, in Japan, it has, the majority of the time, it's remained in the top 10.
Wow.
I mean, and that is, Japan, that's just, wow, it's out of this world. And Canada has been on another supporter who has, has been supporting the Beautiful Creatures in the
Well, we do have a lot of readers that are in Canada. And we have a lot of Canadian, viewership, so that makes sense. They're very into. It seems that they have like really solid communities for readers, for light workers, and they support each other. So I know that the Canadians really have a big part in our fellowship as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's caught me by surprise that the Beautiful Creatures Tarot, despite that the text, everything is in the English language, it's caught me by surprise that it's been sought out in Latin America, Argentina, Mexico,
Awesome.
Colombia, Cuba, Puerto Rico. It's
Wow.
been sought out there, and it's highly anticipated there.
Well, I think your Hispanic background also, has a big play because they're seeing an author from a Hispanic background, coming out and putting these decks out, which you don't get to see that often.
Mhm.
So they kind of take you in under their wing as one of their own, and want to support you. I know that there are many readers in Mexico, in Spain, of course. Argentina actually has a very large metaphysical community, especially in Buenos Aires. So
Right.
I know that they have a lot of the well-known authors do travel to Buenos Aires to present their books, their cards, and to have seminars, conferences, a lot of things like that. They have a very large, well-educated community.
Right, and Brazil is another country that's anticipating it, despite it's a Portuguese-speaking country, but it's in Latin America, and they too are anticipating the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. And I've got an email saying that the Beautiful Creatures Tarot is the type of tarot deck that they want their kids to learn tarot from.
Wow. Oh, that's perfect. Yes.
So, and that to me, that just it's like a big thank you for creating this tarot deck.
Absolutely, especially if you let your children use it. I know that, like, my daughter loves to do, everybody knows she loves to get on and do videos.
Mhm.
So I really only allowed her to use very gentle, oracle cards like Doreen Virtues, I actually think the unicorn cards are a little bit, she's a little bit more advanced, believe it or not. She's an extremely spiritual child, so she really connects like to the fairy cards. So, those are the cards that we've allowed her to work with, because, there are some things that, you have to give it to them at their phase. But I can't wait to get this deck and see what she does with it, because she's actually never worked tarot before. So I think that's a wonderful suggestion to, let the kids start working with tarot, with something, that they can relate to.
Mhm. And that's one of the reasons why I chose Jasmine's artwork, because the thing I like about her artwork is that it's soft on the eyes, but yet it is not fairy and angel, unicorns
Very profound.
cliche. I mean, it does, if you look at it, it has a little bit of darkness, a little bit of mischief. So it's appealing for all ages.
Well, that's typical of children, so it's actually perfect.
I believe so. And also the thing would be, it's also adults. Adults can also play with it. They can use it, not just kids. And one thing that I point out is that the Beautiful Creatures Tarot is not just for girls, because obviously Jasmine is known for illustrating girls, females.
Right.
But it is also for young boys, young man, just for all genders, all age, all race,
Absolutely.
sexuality, everything.
Well, I love that you touch on that, because the majority of the guys who are in our community they're just my favorites. They're gay,
Yeah.
and they come to our communities because we're so much more accepting than the typical groups. And let me tell you, I want some of them to be my gay husbands, because they're so freaking awesome. And I'm just like, who I'm thinking of, right? I'm thinking of John from Restless Witch. And so it totally, I could see your cards just appealing like a really huge audience. I think it's just it's amazing. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was that you said that you have added 2 additional cards to the traditional tarot, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about that.
Yes, it is traditionally a tarot deck is a 78 card deck, and I said to myself, why not boost it to 80? Add 2 extra cards, and those 2 extra cards serve a rather important purpose to the deck. They can be used as additional divinatory cards, or they can be used as bookmarkers in picture frames, or they can even be used as significators for a tarot deck. Because
well, that's really
as we all
good.
know, people withdraw a card to represent a person, a situation, and that just takes out of the tarot deck. It just takes out of it. So
I
I said,
agree.
why not add two cards that could represent a person and a situation, so that the tarot deck can stay intact, can have its 78 cards.
I love that. I love that because I do use, for some of my readings for the week, I do use a significator or an indicator card. And so, and then you do run into that problem of, okay, well, now I pull this card out of the deck, so it could kind of really change how it's really supposed to come out, you know? So when you said that you put in two of those cards, I was just like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I don't know why nobody has thought about that before. I think it's an amazing idea, and I totally resonate with that. And then, you know, one of the other things that we were talking about, which, again, we were talking about, you know, like one of my pet peeves is that you put in, between what you've created and what you've kind of put together that works for you, 10 different spreads. I wanted to see if you could talk about that.
The 10 spreads that are included in the companion book are spreads that I've used for the longest time, since the age of 13 when I was starting out, and spreads that have been long forgotten, that have been invented, but have been left in the back burner. So I brought those spreads, the ones who have been forgotten, just to give them a place. And my spread, the ones that I've created and invented, I brought those in just to share with readers. And they are spreads that go very well with the Beautiful Creatures Tarot, and they go with any other tarot deck. And I also created a 2 or 3, if I remember correctly, spreads that are dedicated for the Beautiful Creatures Tarot.
And that's great because, you know, one of my pet peeves is, first of all, people who put out decks or authors who put out decks and they don't write any spreads in the book, and I'm just like, how on earth could you put out oracle or tarot cards and not put any spreads in the guidebook? It drives me insane. Or then there's one that's the complete opposite, when they put out spreads and there's like, you know, 20 cards. I'm like, okay, yeah, have you seen those? I'm like, yes. Who is going to do? I will confuse myself if I have to use 20 cards or 15 cards, or I'm just like, there's no way, it's overwhelming, you know. So I love that, you know, you put in, you know, different spreads that are great just for working with your cards. I mean, that's what, you know, you want the author to do, is say, oh, you want to get the best, you want to get the optimum answers. Here is a spread that I created for specifically these cards. So I think that's just awesome. I love that.
Well, I have a question now. Now that you're being integrated into the Google Hangout world and YouTube, do you think that we're going to be able to, once your deck comes out, or even before, maybe just see a little bit of your readings? And, you know, because that, I always loved that. Like, I used to love when I love that Colette Baron Reed does it. I loved when Cheryl Lee Harnish was doing hers, because hers was fractal art. So it was like, really, you know, it was nice to see that the creator of the deck is working with the cards, like Stuart Pierce does it. He does like a monthly reading. So it's really nice to see it's their energy. You created it, and to have sharing that energy with us would be really great. I mean, I know that we would all just so love to see that.
Absolutely, yes. I've been, once I received my tarot deck, the advanced copy, I will be doing videos about it, maybe a small review on my behalf, maybe explaining and stressing the creation process, the history of it, doing readings for people through my tarot deck, the Beautiful Creatures, as well as combining it with other oracle decks, just to...
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, because one of my favorite things is like, okay, so I'm going to just show you this, right? I have this deck, this book, and it's the Witch's Tarot. Look how big the companion book is. And what it does is, for each card, it breaks down every piece of symbolism that's in the card. Right. rarely do authors do that. And so what I love is when, you know, somebody like Doreen Virtue mentions a little tidbit about a card that you never would have known if she wasn't actually handling her own cards in a video. You would not have known that, you know, this was there for this reason, and oh, how that came about. And it really can change how you do a reading with cards if you can know these small little details. And I just find it fascinating, you know, to just kind of have the in on, you know, how a certain card was created. So I think that if you can do videos, you know, breaking down your cards and saying, okay, you know what, when I was making this, this is what I was thinking, this, you know, I think it would just be, I don't know, it would just be amazing. I love it when Cheryl Lee Harnish did it, and, you know, so I think it would be really amazing, and you should definitely consider it, and I would even do it before your cards come out, so that, you know, people can see, you know, like your style and how you read, and I just think it'd be awesome.
Absolutely, and I've also told people who have inquired about the Beautiful Creatures Tarot that I will be posting, announcing trivias about the creation process. That way, so, and you know, like for example, saying this card made it, this card almost didn't make it for the final cut, but then it was brought back 2 weeks later and replaced with another card. You know, things like that, just so people can have an idea and understanding on how I juggled and played with the creation process.
That's
because that must have been crazy. I mean, she has such beautiful art where you're like, oh my God, do I pick this one or do I pick this one? Or no, well maybe this one. I could just see you just going mad looking at all these beautiful illustrations.
It was absolutely a fantastic journey to go through to creating. Well, the majority of the time I let spirit, the universe, the energies manifest. I let everything just go with the flow. I didn't want to force it, because I mean, if I would have forced it, it would have come back to me. It wouldn't have been a beautiful deck. It wouldn't have any meaning, any joy in it. So I took my time. I decided to take my time and create something everlasting, something rewarding that people will love and turn to.
Well, and I think I don't know if we mentioned it, but you know, you were so dedicated to putting it together the right way. It was a 3-year process, and I don't know if people realize it took you 3 years to go from, you know, from the beginning to the end. And so, I mean, if that doesn't show dedication, I don't know what will, because I know a lot of people would have tried to get that done in less than a year. So, you know, I think that shows that, you know, you really cared about how, you know, how the pairings were going to actually come out.
What I wanted to do is give time for everybody to post, because sometimes we're on a lag, you know. So for those who would like, that are live now with us, if you would like, JR, you're still willing to pull a card and do like a 1-card reading? Okay. So for those of you who would like to have that, I mean, this is like a great opportunity. He's an expert tarot reader, so we get to kind of see his style and share with him. So if you want to have have a card read for you, just give me, either post on YouTube or on the questions and answers, so I can pick up your name, and then as we go chit-chatting, then I can make my list, and we can do that towards the end.
Okay, and then I pulled a card for JR from the Witch's Tarot, and it's the Emperor card.
Ooh, nice.
What I love is the Ankh. He has a staff, and the top of it is the Ankh. And then he has this beautiful golden spear in his hand, which is just like, that's his golden egg. Like, that's what he's manifested. So I just was like, I was like, I was just messing with the cards, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so perfect, you know? So I just love that. I'm like, all right, that's perfect. That's JR. And I'm going to I want to just pull one more just for us, for everybody who's on. And I'm going to, wow, okay, guys. These are just flying out of here. Okay, and this is the Energy Oracle. And, oh my, Cornucopia, number 11.
Love that card.
I hardly ever get it with this deck, so.
I love that card.
Love that. I like the number that it's 11. I'm like, okay, that's freaking awesome, so. All right. I mean, so I think, gosh, you know, we got a lot in.
I know. We're just like rolling along here. They were actually planned.
Like an hour and a half or something, but I think everything.
I think we lost JR.
Oh, did we? Oh my gosh.
Hold on, let me invite him back in.
Okay, cool.
We're going in that Mercury retrograde, folks.
Oh,
so.
girl, that hit me so hard last time.
I know it did. I know.
Again.
I know he was having some difficulties earlier, so we were glad to.
No way. Okay, guys, we pulled this card. JR, me and Marion were on yesterday, just privately, just, making sure that everything was going to run smoothly. And Marion had pulled a card for JR, and I just got it again.
Oh, wow.
Card with the laureate, the golden laureate. I just love that. Wow. So this is, total confirmation for him. I mean, I just see him just doing some amazing stuff. Oh, you know what we need to talk about? His second deck.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I think he's coming back on. JR, can we hear you?
I can hear you, guys.
I see his picture, but...
Yeah, that's fine. As long as we can hear you. You know what we didn't touch on was you're coming out, you're making a second deck.
Yes. It's
and Lydia, everybody's okay. All our readers are on. We got Lydia posting, Dia posting that they want one card reading. So as soon as we can get him back on, of course that's what. Yeah, but I don't hear him. Do you?
Oh, I hear him. JR. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't hear him? Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Okay, well, you hear him, you guys talk.
Okay, all right, yeah, so no, I'm asking him to talk a little bit about his, he's already working on his second deck, which is, I'm like, I'm amazed, I'm floored, right? But this deck that you're coming out with is a little different, which I think is really awesome because, dude, you're willing to take chances. So I love that. So tell me, hopefully they can hear you, but tell me about your second deck, and then I'll just copy whatever he says.
My second deck is a personal deck. It's an intimate type of tarot deck. It's something that I created, something that I've always loved and looked forward to creating. So, I mean, yes, I am taking, not to give too much away from my second tarot deck, but I am taking a risk because it is something completely different. It has no connection, no correlation to that of the Beautiful Creatures Tarot.
Oh. Can you guys hear him? Marion, did you hear him?
I do now.
Okay, great. So what he was saying is that that he's really going in a totally different direction with his deck.
Oh, cool.
Right. And there is a lot of differences. Like it has connection to the Beautiful Creatures.
Okay, I think JR that you may be on two different.
I just muted the other one, so
okay,
that's
great. Okay, all right. It's a little better, but I'm getting a lot of feedback. Can you hear that, Marion? Is it just me?
No, it's a feedback. Let me see if I can.
Okay. Well, we lowered the bars. Yeah, mine are pretty low, so.
Okay, I think we're all right now.
Okay, go ahead, JR. I'm sorry. Just go ahead. I think they can hear you now. So if you could just repeat what you were saying about your second deck. Uh-oh. Did we lose him? No. He's there. No, I see him. We just can't hear him. Oh, maybe his mic is muted.
Yeah, I'm checking. Sorry, hey, retrograde.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Why does it keep on muting? Oh, I see. Because if I hide the other one, I was trying to mute one of his things.
Okay,
yeah, it's like a bad backlash. All right, go ahead and just try and let's see how it goes. Oh, no, we can't hear him. Marion, can you hear him?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Hold on. Wait a second. Let me try. Unmute. I guess it's because he has like two things on. Okay, let's see. It won't take the mute off.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe it's on his end. Is he muted on his end?
Well, I should be able to. There it is. Okay.
Okay, so it's either we can't hear you or we get a big backlash for some reason.
Yeah, I think you have now. It mutes itself, is what it is, since it has the feedback. JR, you're on twice, so if you could go to your other screen that's frozen and click off, that way you can come back on. We can do the card pulls and hear the response. Because if I eject the one, it'll throw him all out completely.
Oh, there we go. Good job. He's so good at this. He picks this up so much faster than we did. Okay, I think I hear you now, JR.
Can you hear me?
Yay! Good job. Oh my God, thank God. You're so good at this. All right, yeah. So, okay, all right. I know you've said it before, but we didn't hear you. Go ahead and tell me about the second deck that you're creating. And as much as you can say.
My second tarot deck, like I had mentioned earlier and in different interviews, it has a lot to do with my life. It is a tarot deck that I decided to create, to do for the sole purpose, for the sole reason that I wanted. It's just basically that's what it is. It's something that I wanted to create for the longest time. And a lot of my life is portrayed in the cards and in the theme of the tarot deck.
Ooh, wow. And then you said that you already decided on an illustrator, right?
Yes, I do have an illustrator attached who willingly said, you know what, I will work with you.
Wow. I can't believe it. You are just like, oh my God, you are like on fire manifesting stuff. I mean, that's just amazing, and I love that Jasmine's worked with you on the first deck, but I love that you're going ahead and going with somebody else for the next deck, and I really admire that because I just think that you're really just doing what you want to do, like you're totally taking control and manifesting what you want.
Mm-hmm. And that's basically what I wanted to do. I basically wanted to create something that had a lot to do with me. And like I said, I do like taking challenges. I've always believed that taking challenges is how we learn, through trial and error. I mean, I don't know if my second tarot deck will appeal to readers and viewers from around the world who are to fall in love with the Beautiful Creatures Tarot, especially once they find out that the Beautiful Creatures Tarot and my second tarot deck are nothing alike. It's not a sequel. It's not a prequel.
I love that. I think that to set the precedence of not, doing the same thing over and over again, I think that really, I think it just makes you so different. Than just going, oh, I'm just going to do the same thing I did because that was successful. So,
right.
You know what? I'm just going to stick with that because that was successful. And you're just saying to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to follow my heart and I'm going to do this other deck and I'm going to do it in a different way. And, it is what it is. And it's me. And I'm going to put myself out there. So I think that's really awesome. I think, Marion, I'm looking at the marks over here and I don't think she can hear me.
I can't hear JR, but we have three readers that would like a card pull. One is Dia from Oasis. One is Lydia from Goddess Divine. And Angel Steve actually has a little bit more of a question. She's asking if her particular question will revolve around if she's going to be moving by the end of the year. So that's what she would like to know.
All right.
And maybe pull some cards for them.
Okay, JR, can you hear Marion?
I heard her. I heard her the first time, but about the question about the caller, what you wanted to know, can you repeat that?
The question that she wanted to know, it's from Angel Steve, and she wants to know if she's going to be moving by the end of the year.
moving by the end of the year. Okay. For this reading and the rest of the readings, I will be using all three of Jasmine Becket Griffiths Oracle decks, and I will be using the Pictorial Key Tarot, which is a tarot deck that, you know, just like my first one, that I use quite often for my readings and has given me fantastic insight and outcomes. Basically, speaks the truth when I want it to. So, like all tarot decks. Okay, now will there be a move by the end of the year? Let's see here. Let me see as I try to shuffle the cards. I'm sorry, I just woke up with allergies, and I was like,
you know, I feel so bad for people with allergies. This is the worst time of the year.
okay, now going to the question, the first card that I drew from the Oracle of Shadows and Lights is Marie Masquerade, Glamour, Intrigue, and Drama. Basically, this card is telling Angel that if there might be somebody opposing, somebody telling him or her not to move, that the decision is not concrete, that the decision is not right at the moment, but it's basically for him or her to decide what they want to do and to retreat away from any drama, from any criticism. Just let him or her go with the flow. Yes, listen to what their inner intuition is telling them. Beauty and the Beast from the Oracle of Shadows and Light. This card is basically telling this person that the move that they want to do is necessary, is concrete, it needs to be done to better fulfill a sort of need to advance or prosper on a much different level. So this move is mandatory and this move needs to be done.
Okay, I want to just hold on one second. Marion, can they hear him?
Yes, they can, because I've checked on the other things. But I don't want to put it really loud so we don't get feedback. So I'll have to watch it afterwards.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, so, because if not, then I would repeat what he was saying so that Angel can hear. So she can hear what he's saying then, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know why I can't, but it's all good.
I just wanted to make sure Angel could hear, because it sounds like a really important question, so I wanted to make sure if I had to relay what you were saying, I would go ahead. So, okay, great. Keep going. Sorry.
And the card from the Le Vampire Oracle is called Creator. Basically, this card is telling Angel to start creating, initiating their steps, their plans, their procedures, how they're going to move, what they're going to do, what they're going to take with them. Basically, summarize everything and not to leave anything behind. And from the Pictorial Key Tarot, the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands to me means that they have this decision in their hands. They have full control of this decision, and it is time for them to manifest this decision and make it a reality. But judging by the cards, the positivity of the cards, this move will be positive and will have fantastic outcomes. They may not manifest immediately, but little by little, in percentages, in quantities, they will see the manifestation and they will see the positive outcomes.
Wow, very nice. Okay. Does Dia have a specific question, or
no? She just was, whatever card. She didn't say, so I guess just the card pull would be good.
All right, cool. All right, so pull for Pink. he calls her Pink.
Pink gets the carnivorous flower fairy. Basically, this card talks about temptations, things. Obviously, to me. Pink wants to settle stable as she has projects she wants to stabilize, she wants projects she wants to see into completion, but this card tells her just to be careful as to with who she associates with, how she plans to stabilize her accomplishments and goals, because there may be people that want to take more than what they can have from her. So it's just a fair warning to be very careful and to set her grounds, boundaries, and limits.
Very good.
The next card for Pink is a beautiful worm. And this card represents that whatever it is she wants to manifest with her debut blog or her talk show with reviewing tarot decks, she will have to see time for this, because she's going to be on demand. People are going to want to talk to her. People are want to see her. They want to set up appointments. So she's going to have to take care of her priorities, and she's going to have to take care of her her business of reviewing, and take care of her family life, take care of her personal life, avoid from people invading her space. And the card here, basically, this card's a powerful card. As you can see, it says to know personal evidence, to speak out. I get the feeling that Pink is going to be more of a I'm going to tell it how it is type of reporter, type of interviewer. I mean, she's just so honest, so brutally honest, and she's just going to get to the point of things and not sugarcoat things and just go straight with the flow. And as for the tarot deck, wow, she gets overall, and this is basically I get that this reading is pertaining to her blog show, her talk show, which she's debuted, and she gets the Ace of Pentacles.
Wow.
There will be prosperity. There won't be financial prosperity per se, but there'll be abundance of influence and motivation and just initiations from all angles.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, and then does Lydia have a specific question, Marion?
No, but I did get a comment back from Angel Steve, and she's like, "Oh wow, that it's spot on for her. That they're in, like I said, they're in California, and they're going to be moving to the East Coast for her husband's position. So they're just kind of waiting on the final word, and that they're so excited about moving and getting closer to family. So great! I can't wait to have her on the East Coast either. Maybe we could get together. It'd be awesome."
I think I better grab her before she goes to the East.
I think you better.
So, girl, we gotta hook up before you go. All right. And so, okay. So the last one we have is Lydia, and she's a goddess divine.
Okay. And does she have a question?
I don't think so. Does she? She doesn't have a question, right, Marion?
No, she didn't say. She just to pull a card for her.
Pull cards, yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. For her, we have the Candy Cane Angel. It's time for a treat. What I'm getting from this card and what I'm getting from Lydia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I'm getting from her is that she's been working too hard on projects. She's been dedicating too much time for other people, and yet has not had time for her to relax, and has not had time for her to sit back and enjoy her peace, enjoy what she has around. So basically this card is telling her that she needs now to leave everything behind for a bit and to focus and concentrate on her priorities and her needs. Basically treat herself to something nice, something maybe elegant, something sassy, but just something that could make her feel good about the work and time and effort she's invested. The next card is the Alice and the Sea of Tears. As you can see, this card tells about castaway out of your depths and feeling abandoned. Basically, if she is to feel abandoned for all that she's done, for so many good things and wonderful things that she's done, it's just for her to know that she will be repaid. Karma will repay her for her good deeds, and there are going to be fantastic payments, fantastic deeds that karma is going to bring to her. And the last card is one of my favorite cards. It's called Faith. And this card tells about trust, unwavering, and confidence. Basically, this card tells her to believe in herself and in anything and everything she wants to do. She has full support, if not by people around her, but by the spirit and the universe, her angels, her guardians, her deities, who are one step ahead of her and one step looking out for her. And the last card, she gets the world for anything and anything that she wants to do. So basically, the world is self-explanatory, meaning that anything she sets her mind to, it will have fantastic completion.
Well, I know Lydia, and I know that your reading is spot on. So
she just commented. She's like, "Oh my God!" Exclamation! 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 Well, she's like, "What?" And awesome. So I know that you definitely nailed it too, because yeah, that's awesome. Because I get to hear like a delay, so I'm like, oh, reacting to like the previous card, but that's okay.
No, I know I could as he nailed it. I knew that he nailed it as he was pulling each card. So now the only thing we really need to know is if people want to pre-order, how where can they go? Where can they go to get your cards?
they can go to Schiffer.com, my publisher, who have it for pre-sale. They can go to Amazon and any Amazon, Amazon Canada, Japan, China, France, Germany, the UK, and there is works of getting it through Amazon Mexico, Brazil, and Australia, and they can go through the Book Depository, which is also a vendor. They can go through Barnes & Nobles, Books A Million, basically any and every online retail vendors. They have the beautiful creatures available for pre-order.
That's amazing. I'm blown away. I can't believe that you're coming out from all these really popular places that, you know, everybody knows Barnes & Noble, everybody knows Amazon. A Book Depository was one of the first places I ever ordered cards from. So, you know, I just, oh my God. I just cut the deck in half and I got the victory card again.
Oh my God.
So JR had gotten it when you were, like, when you were jumping in between, like, trying to get back on. I had pulled it, and then I just pulled it again, and Marion had pulled it for you yesterday. So, I don't know. I just see amazing things coming your way, and I really look forward to, both decks. I look forward to the one that's going to be coming out in December, and then the one that you're working on. I'm just like, I can't wait to see the other one, because we got to see a little sneak peek of one of the cards, and you guys didn't. So, I'm really looking forward to that. JR, really, thank you so much for, you know, just spending this time with us. I really appreciate how approachable you are. So,
well, I can't wait. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask for a commitment that when those cards come out and we all have our decks, that we're going to get on and we're going to, you know, have a little fun tarot hour of just doing cards and you know, and readings. And I just wanted to say, Lydia said that thank you so much, that it was beautiful, absolute confirmation of what she's already felt, and that she just so loves it. She says, I already purchased his deck and waiting patiently.
Oh, thank you.
Girl, you go, girl. Man, that girl, she don't wait for anybody.
No, ma'am.
All right, guys, we're going to get going. You know, you'll be seeing us and when we post our next videos, and we're going to keep nagging JR until he starts making videos. We're going to post him until he starts making videos. So, all right, guys, we're out of here, and, you know, we'll see you at the next Hangout. Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.